You've Got Mail made us fall in love with the shop around the corner.
Perfect.
The film also portrayed its eventual demise.
Oh, another independent bites the dust.
But the sad fate we saw play out on the big screen in 1998 isn't the storyline today. Independent bookstores are still here, and we're seeing even more of them pop up.
Since the pandemic started, which obviously was a time where we were very concerned about the sustainability of these small businesses during lockdowns, since then, over 600 independent bookstores have opened across the country. And just in 2023, we've had over 200 stores open.
Allison Hill is the CEO of the American Booksellers Association. She says there's been significant growth in indie bookstores this past year and believes the pandemic actually contributed to the trend.
I think we all had the experience of looking up one day and your favorite coffee shop or your favorite restaurant or your favorite bookstore had closed overnight. And I think we all have a better understanding of what's at stake when we're not in a position to support these small businesses.
Hill says 27 new shops opened in New York in 2023 compared to about 10 in 2019. You can find one of them along Broadway in Newburgh.
I noticed immediately that there wasn't an indie bookstore here.
After 14 years at Penguin Random House, Angie Venezia decided to open Golden Hour Books. It's actually the first independent bookstore in Newburgh since the 1990s.
This is perfect.
Offering both new and used books, Venezia is hoping to give customers a more thoughtful, curated selection.
I wanted to meet a lot of our customers before finalizing our inventory. You know, when you're shopping online, which I think is the primary way that people shop these days, you're being fed an algorithm, but you know that's not really a human way of recommending a book.
Along with more personal recommendations.
My son was obsessed with this book when he was like 6 months old.
Okay.
Customers like Almas Merchant say independent bookstores offer a sense of community.
I don't do a lot of restaurants. I don't do a lot of, going out to bars. And so this is the place where I imagine building a community space.
Creating a resource center for the neighborhood is exactly what Darlene Opko set out to do when she opened Adane, a bookshop in Brooklyn in 2021.
Outside of just selling books, I host workshops where it's just more like, plant therapy, art therapy. I also do a lot of like poetry here, author talks, dinner talks.
Akpo shares a strong connection with the community she serves. She recently moved the store from Dumbo to Bed-Stuy. It's the neighborhood she calls home.
I want people to feel happy when they're coming into this space, especially being a Black-owned bookstore, being able to have that representation because it does matter.
According to the American Booksellers Association, of the 600 stores that opened during the pandemic, almost 30% have been by people of color. Akpo is committed to diversifying the playing field, offering books that set her apart from the competition.
It could be a top seller in New York Times. If it doesn't resonate with my customer, I'm not going to sell it. I wanted it to feel like people have this connection, just from the artwork, a lot of Black history, a lot of, music.
Before opening Adane, Akpo worked as a middle school teacher. She brings that experience to her current role.
I have customers come in and tell me, I don't read, and then I encourage them to leave with a book.
Not only encouraging, but facilitating. Akpo has a table set up outside the shop where books are available free of charge.
One customer came in today and she was like, thank you for having free books, and still bought a book, right? So for me, it's just like, I'm not just in the business of making a profit. I'm here to really promote literacy and encourage people to read.
Sharon, Crowley, Fox 5 News.